Hello everyone, my name is Shangsha. I am back in the Netherlands and a lot has happened in the past month. So in this video I'm going to talk about my recent trip to China, my interview with a Dutch newspaper, and I want to share some updates about my future YouTube plans. So the reason I went to China was to visit my birthplace Yulin, and the last time I was there was already 5 years ago in 2019, and this year I just felt this was the right time to go again, to discover the culture, the people, the old city, the new city, the cultural highlights, but also to continue my search to my birthparents in China. On August 28, 2024, China announced that it will end its international adoption program that had been in place for more than 3 decades, and therefore I was interviewed by the Dutch national newspaper, the Telegraaf, about my search to my birthparents in China, but also about my thoughts as an adoptee about this international adoption stop. And the interview was published the day before I took my plane to China, so luckily I was able to buy the paper edition in the store. So here it is, the newspaper of Saturday 21st of September 2024. It's in the weekend edition, so it's a very thick newspaper. Let's find the article. So here it is on page T21. It's a whole page, so that's very cool to see. The section is international, the title is in Dutch and the article is also in Dutch, but I will translate it for you. So the section is called Roots. Can a viral video help to find biological parents? And the title of the article is Adoption Stops, Search Continues. So the article is about my search to my birthparents in China, but also about my TikTok video on the Chinese TikTok on Douyin, which went viral. More than 1 million views, a lot of comments. I made a separate video about that, but also about my return trip to China, so to the place where I was found, why it is very important to go back to your roots. Another section is about DNA databanks, because I also went to China to draw my blood for a DNA bank. And the last section is about the international adoption stop that China announces. And I also say in this article that I think that the focus of adoption is still too much on the wish and adoption parents. The Dutch and the Chinese government can do much more to help adoptees in their search to the background. That adoptees can ask for financial help or psychological help in their search. And I think it's very nice that there is a whole article about that to give it some recognition. But my trip to China was amazing, and I traveled together with my Dutch mother, which was very nice for the emotional support, but also no one in China, at least the place where I was born, speaks English. So it was very nice to have someone to talk with and to eat together, so I was not that alone. And for my trip to China, which was a total of 2 weeks, I chose some highlights that I want to share with you. So here I'm standing in front of the impressive Yunqian Palace, Yunqiangong, the largest cultural building in China, and it's incredible that I missed this impressive palace the last time I was here. And Yulin has a lot of cultural attractions and beautiful parks to visit. A very special meeting for me was with these former school children who found me nearly 30 years ago, and they took me to the orphanage. Now as adults we reunited for the first time, and I am very grateful that they took the time to meet me. We had a lovely breakfast and tea together, so that was really nice. I also had an appointment with the Public Security Bureau for DNA testing, so I went there to draw my blood. They took some photos of me and they made up a file. And the staff was extremely helpful and patient despite the language barrier. Together with my mother, I put search posters around the place where I was found, and we also handed them out to local residents. And my mother actually attracted a lot of attention with her blonde hair, and I tried to talk to them in my best Chinese. The people were very helpful. They were also willing to share it on their social media and with their family and friends. During this trip, I was supported by an amazing volunteer from 宝贝回家, a Chinese NGO who helps people to find relatives. And she showed us around. She made dinner for us, took us to the countryside, and that was very nice. She also introduced us to an English teacher, a friend of her, and her son. I also ordered the commercial DNA test Archesamo found to help find potential family members. This test is similar to 23andMe, but this is specific for China and only available in China. So I'm curious if that leads to more connections. And beyond my search, I also enjoyed the culture and the food of Yulin. Our volunteer took us to different restaurants. We tried new dishes like coconut hot pots, and she even cooked for us a few times. So it was a wonderful introduction to the flavors of Yulin. Now that I am back in the Netherlands, life continues, and I want to bring you along in this journey. I will be sharing more about my daily life, including my career, my own business, my fitness and health goals, and my personal growth. So if you're interested in seeing this side of my life, make sure to follow along. See you! China stops foreign adoptions, the end of an era in which 150,000 children were adopted by foreigners. But for many adoptees and parents, this means a lifetime of mourning and search for each other. Like Shangsha, who went viral on Chinese TikTok with her emotional appeal.